Rusana na amount for any abre because European matches no dodo na wo ho. Ye shase enura ene bi bekoso ana nyame adom achi ne bi bekoso. Ma me shase emfem free Italy because enura ho na ye shase.
Na me saw the transfers na what the games na ba.
Na nka games no.
For transfers na for games na bra. Why? We were saying Kofusi move when Jackson Modi and na yidi na ya yin kakra.
Oh, say transfer na nka games no so na nka pese me rem.
Okay, ni bra games me.
Me sha said ye free enura game e call so e wo Italy. AC Milan e kwa we akwa win 2-0 against Lecce. Ken AC Milan ne first game was season him no otne fie lusu ye against Cremonense. Ne second game na hu be hia say AC Milan be kwa away na wetimi akopeke sa 3 maximum points no. So enra AC Milan e kwa away akopeke sa 3 points na a very important for them. Last season AC Milan bo boku no omentimi an qualify anko Europe. So the new season omurem target ni say yebobo season ni nyina awie no na AC Milan etimi qualify their Europe. That's the reason why Allegri ni AC Milan impanyimfo decide say players on be sign omodi omaba no eye players more experience or established dada. Entis what AC Milan for signings are Obakofa Luka Modric or established or experience. Obakofa Estupinian or established player or the Nkunku asaba beka hu because omo pe players are omo ye ready made on betimi dia competing or ma qualify their Europe. But what check AC Milan 2 games am witnessing nyina na against Cremonense then against Lecce. Though say AC Milan lose every in the game nenra. But there ba kwa me hu say e affect AC Milan team ne pa na say on ability to create big chances. 2 games on mabo Italian Serie A ni nyina no Allegri ebo 3 back. Na 3 back obo no o use Estupinian as a left wing back and o use Yunus Musa as a right wing back. Say obo 3 back and what's our wide players and also wing backs no and they provided with na ya attack here omom ne betima attack from the ring so Estupinian and Abrante fence Yunus Musa ne creativity no muni soro enti omo lack sa creativity from the wide area obehwe finfin centrally susu a obo Luka Modric at the age no omo no control game no or city deep no control game no omo ma ne nko the offensive third ni bebre so okoye attacking midfielder Abrante fence for fan so on the operate as the destroyer na or this two any sa redim na aba mfimfin odi amomo onye obi oye creative then Abrante fence look to cheek I operate as a box to box so sa wa check AC Milan team na omo operate this season na omo 2 games omo aboni nyina no omo lack creativity from the central midfield area and from the rings because of the kind of profiles omo use enti 2 games ni nyina no AC Milan enya just 6 big chances enra mpokra sa wo check omo game na majority of omo goals ne chances omo create here no na a true set pieces than individual errors from Lecce boboku no so say AC Milan betima compete for this season no ma qualify the aba Europa and what's a Allegri ni AC Milan team ne sha say on be a lot of creativity about boboku enya me wa say e ka hu bi no makwa kofa Christopher Abrante fence Nkunku e dia ba she boboku no because on be here creative midfielder from mfimfin on the amateur fence AC Milan but you know the first 2 games we lose the first one and we win the second one. You hope say AC Milan beat Matwas Safum we are so enra I was very impressed with Luka Modric. Oche the free kicks ahodwe and Luka Modric still have that magic touch. Enno osesa nyoma bebrede ma AC Milan bobuko no. You hope say nyoma best san e de ama Milan team no. Uko Spain Madrid etnefie abo against Mallorca. Ewo Bernabeu. The first 2 games of Real Madrid those say omo performance no enye 5-star. By Madrid first 2 games omo bo omo homoden etimi win sa 2 games ni nyina. Ne first game o win ne second game we win. Enti every Madrid fan hope say sa 2 games a Madrid etimi win no betima continue sa de no. No mo dey continue etimi compete with Barcelona. So after some Madrid echo win Oviedo game 3 no. The performance of Real Madrid no ama Madrid for supporters no do na GDA say betima continue with this performance na bibia koye dia ma Real Madrid boboku no by so far ade ba ko amani age Real Madrid boboku ho no pa na say how are Real Madrid concede chances how are Real Madrid concede goals say ni 2 games o maboni nyina no defensively me hu some certain level of improvement e Real Madrid boboku nim me jitu mu say Real Oviedo ni Osasuna mu nyebo oboku abeka se onbetima ma Real Madrid tough airtime in terms of attack eye team so mu ko share Real Madrid da onbe try say onbe defend it na mumbusa hu say last season majority of Real Madrid players are no more on one na seguo but when team say nkitwa ni koshia check the number of chances na Real Madrid concede check the number of mistakes no mu defend omo ye but what check Real Madrid for first 2 games I think and I believe say gradually as a omu defend ya oma ye better ade ba kwa me hu sa Alonso dia beka Real Madrid game ne ho so omu nkra ball no omu defend ya say omu chase ball no omu focus the ball the reference points ni say what's yet to me ball ni free opponent in same enti anytime be a Real Madrid for ebetimi e defend bia no omu move towards the direction of opponent the ball no baby or the ball never enti adiem time be a Madrid be defend bia no omu chase ball omu try some best deep last season under Ancelotti Madrid defend ya opponent ne J ball na Madrid aba be gu na echi no ama opponent ne the ball naba enti na there was a lot of pressure on Courtois and a Real Madrid for defensive line no enti ma Real Madrid for concede goals bebre a na hu hia so be concede by about 2 games Madrid first game against a team friend say Osasuna and shot on target Osasuna enya big chance Courtois anye save because Real Madrid for Osasuna J ball na Madrid a chase ball no makwa akwaje na no against Real Oviedo entimi enya big chance Courtois eche ball miensa pe ano ye saves so in the first 2 games Real Madrid are making sure say opponent ni ntimi attack bebre that's one positive amenu about Alonso ne Real Madrid say omu defend bia na omu focus the reference points no the ball and in football say coach eka say your reference point no yem kwaje ball yem focus on the ball na e kire say omu use option oriented zonal marking in option oriented zonal marking u focus nya na yese ube chase ball no say obeje ball no eni ade ba kwa mani age e wo Real Madrid there is a lot of improvement e was so mutimi correct sanoma no but we show first 2 games are defensively me happy with how Real Madrid for efforts to defend it offensively there Madrid instead any problem kese bebre sa because a Real Madrid team with the individual qualities e krom no Mbappe betimi aye ne magic na the go the amount Vinicius Junior do send the form ni suru bebre te say previous season there by now no against Oviedo free bench by betimi be impact game no ebe share goal ebe make key assist so individual quality ne Madrid will be betimi the goals ne dia ba but dia ba ko aboam Real Madrid say we attacking third ne first game ne second game Alonso use nyoma miensa movements rotation and flexibility. First game against Osasuna, second game against Oviedo. Adi Alonso use the attacking say Mbappe na obo number 9 no onyo bia otise Lukaku onyo bia otise Isaac mo opese time bia na oba na kire beje boni bie because opese o involve play ne nano ne ye ne de enti Madrid isi akan a omo nhyɛ ni striker obema that boss presence by anfa ho so many striker obema that boss presence no Madrid timi find a way to create more chances than to score and the kwai omo fa so yes ade no movements rotation and flexibility enti time bia no sa oche Vinicius Junior na o rotate Mbappe o rotate Master Antony o be rotate Chouameni obe rotate, Adagula obe rotate, and it's only omo obo say na because of that rotation, that movement, that flexibility, Ebuama Real Madrid for team create chances no. Mallorca for first game olusu against Barcelona, ne second game wakodra against Celta Vigo, ne third game obe try so obe to me be frustrated Real Madrid. Real Madrid for fee, omo ye team ba kwa. Omo ba Madrid fee no ba be city deep. Omo ye very aggressive. Omo per crosses any long balls no ma try so may use transition to beat Real Madrid for a defense. By set obet na Madrid bet na fee na a team offense Mallorca be share Real Madrid na extremely difficult. The last time Mpokra Madrid na fee Emma Mallorca be share no a way back 2008. After 2008, Mallorca and team by Madrid fee be share no. So if there is going to be a team obe we need ya straight away me ko Ediama Real Madrid bobo no. Vallecano nefi against Barcelona. Ewo Vallecas. Eye game baako a se ofo obi o follow football na ofo Barcelona fans na obi so omo say Barca ekosi akan ene Barca anhyegu a obeka se woboa. Ade baako a betima trust Barcelona boboko ni say Barcelona under Hansi Flick so omu si akan a say ye nhyegu de oye dey Barcelona about 95% obetima trust Barcelona say ombetima ma goals ombetima attack ombetima control game ne dia ma enti yenhye goals de enye Barcelona problem football na yebo no faces ahodo wo football mu ye 4 sa 4 faces wo football mu no arguably uko Europa Barcelona dominate mu mienu among the 4 phases of play Europe clubs wo Europe na clubs wo Europe na no phases of play for na wo ho no Barcelona dominate phases ni mu mienu attacking phase Barcelona is very strong untimi nka best attacking teams wo Europe a ubeyi Barcelona free enti eba attacking phase o me very strong and a transition to attacking phase say Barcelona etimi ayiri opponent age ball now etimi achisa from defense to attack o me very strong so sa four phases of play no Barcelona is strong in two. That's the reason why omutimi she goals bebre omutimi attack very well and it's a what check Barcelona under Hansi Flick obefa oboko ni last season in all competition about 60 games eshe 174 goals. Se team betima about 60 games ama 174 goals a show the kind of quality and the kind of attacking power sa team ne wo. So what check last season pokra na every competition be a Barcelona boy no only 2 games per and went to me go. That was against Sociedad, then Okobo was a game against A Liga and Susufi. And the only team Barcelona and Timian football and two Martinim. Every single game be on board to me. And you have a new season. New season I remember Barcelona first game, Wama Mallorca 3. The second game, Wama Levante 3. 2 games are Barcelona born La Liga no, where Timia ma 50 attempt to score. Yenko baby. Season in Kobebiao, ya bought just 2 games. Barcelona amount 50 attempt to score. Every game biano, amount 3 goals. And Barcelona eshe goals, any problem. Omo quality, almost turn on the attacking and weshe. Yama, Dani Olmo, Ferran Torres, Rafinha, Pedri, Frankie Dion, Baudimon, and Tia attack die. Untimin take anything away from Barcelona. Sanka team about just 2 games. No amount 50 attempt to score. And to Barcelona there, omu okay with attack. By the same team, ubu so omu supporters say omu problem pa ne dey pa. Ombeka tro say kwan na so mfa so e concede goals no. Ana omu kwa face Vallecano. Barcelona ne Vallecano there emu twe. Na emum aje say monitor 2 games no, 2 teams no more recent matches. Most especially says ye bo game no e wo Vallecasa. The last 4 games are Barcelona akọ Vallecas, wakọ Vallecano fee. Barcelona win ba akupe. That was last season. Barcelona ko win 2-1. And say Barcelona fans never kai sa match na. Vallecano for take lead. E chire na Pedri beteka. No be enim say game na ye draw. Ana Dani Olmo ebenya winning goal de ma Barcelona. Barcelona struggle pay you no mkonya sa 2-1 victory no. The last 4 games are Barcelona ko Vallecas. Vallecano fi wakwa ko win ba ko pe. Enti ye venue ba ko Barcelona kwa omo bre. Ana wo check Vallecas pitch na. Omo pitch ne nye. Barcelona per pitch very good obetima mo game na flow by Vallecano pitch ne nye enti bia Barcelona ko ho a mo ball ntimi flow yi e affect Barcelona style of play enti pitch na Barcelona e kwakosi akan no anytime mo ko bia no mo complain even Vallecano players ne complain say pitch ne nye enti e ma game ne nye fe e ma opponent ne ba o mo ntimi mbo mo ball no pitch ne betima affect Barcelona then team na friend say Vallecano na nkasa o mo style of play no mo share Barcelona o mo dey have Barcelona adwin because o mo run omo ye very aggressive omo use omo rings no ken obekai Vallecano for omo senior man Sakura man isi sa man no oye senior man on ne ha adwen pa wo boboko nim anytime you obeti Barcelona bi obe try so obe ha Barcelona boboko no by Barcelona betima kwa we akonya the needed 3 points eye how Barcelona ebe make sure say omo high line omo nya expose okos roba for Barcelona be omo high line no Barcelona be control game no on be attack more than Vallecano. Barcelona be create more chances on be timi nyomu goals omo pe no by Barcelona high line no on be timi a contain eye Vallecano for no Vallecano for ntimi be to omo high line no and the only problem by a game back wa still Barcelona advantage Barcelona so be kwa away with Vallecas akonya the 3 maximum points. Chelsea et na fie against Fulham. Chelsea echo West Ham ko share 5-1. Chelsea fans n'eniji because of the results and the performance of Chelsea. Chelsea actually say quality wise omu obi. Oma actually say omu good tactical approach, flexibility and plan. And it's a watch Enzo Maresca every single game biano or san insano actually say oye coach or pay attention to details. So tactically say nkofo mpokro enya gidie wo Enzo Maresca omu ni problem tactical aspect of the game. And a Chelsea for actually say omu character. And it's a Chelsea with good tactical flexibility, more character, more quality materials. Dear Nebema Chelsea etimia compete with England. Dear Betimama Chelsea etimia compete with England. I competed with the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool ne Manchester City ni say and was a Chelsea enya consistency in their results and performance. And it's a Chelsea team away. Akwa West Ham 5-1. Every single Chelsea fan expect say Obetinefia against a Fulham or Betimama the same performance. It is a Chelsea Betima competing with the big guys. Oman and some dominating Englander. And what's a Chelsea star results omunya star performance on the mind so and playing against Fulham Ewofieno who expect Chelsea say Obetimama good performance ama good results. Name Fulham Bobo so nya fusa. A Fulham team maybe umfa a medium fa momo. Unshadam Fulham by checking Marco Silva from last season ABC this season. When him say Marco Silva, ni 2 games our season ni onye lusu you. Don't send in our board draw onye lusu ye. Full and force so pomo first win this season. The first 2 games ni our board draw on lusu yi. Ne nia brace obenya the first win. And ohun say so timi konya first win against Chelsea was Stamford Bridge a beye plus the amano. Last season, this same Fulham team and a question Chelsea 2-1 was Stamford Bridge. Omo players somebody question Chelsea no majority of them eda so ho. And one person who repeat the same thing. And at here back about Fulham near say, omo ye positional play team. And to team near quite a balanced side. Say yen first set piece and she go Fulham nim sadi ye. Say yen use high block omo nim sadi ye. Yen use wide defense. Yen use box defense. Na yen ye transitions omo nim sadi ye. Ente a teamer a balanced side that untimi underrate yomo. Adia baako ebua Fulham so person stop Fulham pani say and what say o build up ni nyina unya overloads. Every single team awetimi stop Marco Silva any Fulham bia no ne build up ni nyina unya overloads, most especially in the midfield. Because ukosia Fulham and Marco Silva time bia no use +1 in the midfield. Yeka se team be use +1 in the midfield time bia no or per extra player to be in the midfield. And sa +1 player no person using one finfin that extra man no or use Alex Iwobi. And in finfin ho no or look at wo or ken wo ho and Alex Iwobi na o pretty as a ringer no who expecting say on the be flooded the ring so by omo ye build up bia na o man drift be kan finfin ho now I hear the +1 a midfielder I will be receive ball no. And typical example a yomu game against Manchester United recently. Manchester United midfielders and now coach ni use was Casemiro ni Bruno Fernandes. Adi ama Fulham timi dominate sisa game no wonfinfini say time bia no Alex Iwobi be ye +1 na Manchester United any numbers to stop Alex Iwobi and time bia Alex Iwobi timi progressive ball no. So playing against Chelsea the first thing Chelsea need to do is to stop sa +1 na Fulham for use no and meje Enzo Maresca di one coach aminim so timi read the game very well Enzo Maresca a convince emu bebre enti e most likely say Chelsea fall back no be use against Fulham no. Anytime bia say Obama Rich James na ashasia playing against Fulham onim say Fulham e use +1 in the midfield no so obe use Rich James Obama Rich James e invert ya become finfin for no enti apart from Chelsea back for no Rich James e be invert ya become finfin for no obecame finfin for no obe ye close to Caicedo and no ne be allow Enzo Fernandez to be in the proper right midfielder and they most likely so obe use Dilap as the number 9. Se Dilap ebo as the number 9 the obey you soon yes sa Dilap no and distracted Calvin Bassey and Joachim Anderson. So watch Manchester United against Fulham. Now say Calvin Bassey timi ba nanim pa because says Manchester United striker no be anywhere or that boss presence enti o ment me mpini Fulham for center back baako enti na Calvin Bassey timi je ball ba nanim by Chelsea Enzo Maresca minim no e most likely so bobo Dilap so bobo Dilap ebe pini between Calvin Bassey and I said Joachim Anderson. Not then Joao Pedro timia became fin for no. So Chelsea benya the numbers. So be you so Estivao Mpokrana, Obama Estivao on paper up as a right winger, no a drift ban fin ho. Enti adi a Chelsea be beautiful Fulham ye say. Chelsea benya central control. Na Chelsea etimi move to create in spaces or pay. A game back wa me expect a lot from Chelsea and Meko Chelsea say Chelsea be winning. Manchester United etnefi against Burnley.
Okay.
Ken here tactics. Unhia was software, unhia professor to tell you say Manchester United players in new coach no. The Manchester United supporters ni feminine. Last season, mama Manchester United supporters sunye. Omo di acho. Ya ba new season. Yenko baby a mo say Manchester United supporters na esu. Playing against Burnley e ofie. Manchester here tactics to win this game. What check Manchester United problem back up on the field that you Ruben Amorim every year. You say Ruben Amorim in for question one by checking the mentality and the intensity of Manchester United players. No, I didn't think you game back Manchester United players no, or more intensity or more mentality is different. Now when you GDO, the following game intensity and mentality are drop it. Or more common, no matter what.
Okay.
And the football aspect ni na sa opesa o dominate here. And what say every single aspect of the game you need to dominate. So offer team a friend say Manchester City or dominate here or dominate the tactical aspect, the physical aspect, the mental aspect, the technical aspect. Liverpool here the same thing. Nansa impokra Arsenal this second no check the mentality impokra improve. So for Manchester United to dominate apart from tactics everything the mentality aspect also more improve. And to say oh against Burnley. Na no ya wa my team kitwa you from EFL Cup. Unhia tactics to win against Burnley. Unhia mentality to win against Burnley. And to also almost say Liverpool ni Arsenal dey ken. Simple. A midfield game. What be dominating midfield na be carry the day. Watch Liverpool ni Arsenal recently. Draw. 2-2 on my last 2 games. Nansen pokra Arsenal ko Anfield a. Otiminya draw edeba. And 2 quotes ni now elite approach. And the reason why I make us say midfield battle ni say offer Arsenal bobuku no. Arteta looking out for control between the lines. Counter pressing. Coordinated switches. No more use corners and they are taking advantage. Oko slaughter up exploiting vertical counters up midfield dictated rhythm. At the same time also sustaining pressure over the final third. Now we use coordinated switches. Sadia make any no say bet my year a midfielders na deba. And between Arsenal and Liverpool. Arsenal midfield no Martin Odegaard up to date on shada any 100% fit. So sa number 10 no e betima ye bereche eze enti na Arteta so be man free rule obebo e bereche eze obebo Merino so obebo dia anase Zubimendi no abo Declan Rice okoti me friend say Liverpool amfimfin ho no Florian Wirtz ebebo McAllister so be man opportunity minim so be use Bosley e dey free right back e dey aba amfimfin obi obehwe game ni bia no on share the midfield pattern wow be dominating midfield una can be game back over 1.5
okay
goals there both teams most likely so be abeshe over 1.5
me that say Kwame Dela Adolson say bia boko there
nyame adom ken
Eda Paula Sanchez say we monitor program na no pay eja ba bia obi a ye ncha ne mo so ofie enso ehwe bia ene eja no ye mfa no nsuo na to aso mame
kemera say na mami no ndin komo kakra na yembo transfers no mu komo kakra me yan ma games ni mu na you see the initial plan for Chelsea was to say Lian Delap on beton 30 Joao Pedro on be fan 59 80 million pounds for 2 strikers. Now on 2 players they replacing Nicholas Jackson. That is why they valued Nicholas Jackson at 80 million pounds. Into the Nicholas Jackson fee. Nanka omodi ato Dilap and Joao Pedro.
Plan.
That was the initial plan. 80 million pounds. 80 million pounds. Na ekekako euros mu 100 million euros. It is what's 100 million euros? That was it. It is what is initially Chelsea wanted Nicholas Jackson 100 million euros as sanity. But they be a catch or say negotiations a scale. You need to plan, knowing very well say oh box you will be the corner or you're desperate, and the desperate times require desperate measures. Ken, the entire Chelsea form person beton Nicholas Jackson terminal say they knew very well say yeah be end the transfer markets now a big play in the advantage. Why? Buy Munching for we're looking around. And a Newcastle for no so epic. Chelsea knows very well says I got 2-3 days a bidding war because by Munchen the initial plan was that Hurricane replacements a new ya try Jonah Kusi Jonah no so you trying a gun in now board the most wedding no you trying ya kwada on to me more in got top player bra. Their first target was Nick Vortamandi of Stuttgart. The 50 koye Omanji, 55 Omanji. Stuttgart for insisted say 65 million pounds. sorry, 65 million euros. And I was okay, no problem. If that is the deal, dear, you better change. So in the binds of Bayern Munich, almost also change last minute. Now the Sika cost Stuttgart said they were Stuttgart for beton because Stuttgart already they are in the market searching for replacements. Only for Bayern Munich to get to know, say, yeah, that's sorry, a Newcastle for Nick Vortamandi because nobody knew. Say Nick, no, Newcastle for the Befano. Because you say Newcastle air working Bran Larson and no more working you want Wisa. It is a Newcastle. After Nick Vortamandi, na Bayern Munich the new option there. Na just say omunsa akwa share Chelsea wonum. Because Bayern Munich first target amfa option be anywhere. Jonah Kusino are likely some of them call Stuttgart and also call PSV. Omo pet team the amano. It say Bayern Munich new option they need to go to Chelsea and beg. 4 days ago, Chelsea catch them for say a 15 million pounds loan fee. And on my insist, and actually 50 million pounds and 80 million euros. And actually Chelsea for about 15 million euros, which is like 12.5 million pounds more, baby. And the Chelsea for say, nah, I'm one here, but you know 2 options. And the Chelsea for them are buying Munchen. Options me no say, boy ni ye Tony and Cassie be in loan. It is a mope, some loan, a loan plus option there. A loan plus option about 15 million euros. Say loan plus obligation in dia. You bet me cry the amount of 5. Maybe obligation no. Ya 2. Ya be 70 million euros. In say me no. Option. Ya be you sika kese loan fee. Obligation loan fee for open there here. Now, Bayern Munich for clearly almost a short term replacement. Omo play omo panic Vortamande no wenya no Nicolas Jackson on ba be try ahwese be fa Bayern Munich person be risk akwa no obligation na Nicolas Jackson abeto omo so na ochire bi omo ton no munya tofo
but 50 million euro loan fee Nicolas Jackson such as it on around 30 something
aye
and omo give 50 million for 1 year loan
say and I'm just Chelsea knows how to do proper business and now me catch you say you could do pempensuo bia club ni desperate Bayern Munich inform ni option bia o the Chelsea for be kan no beti and until the total figure no akwa 80 million euros 80 million euros 15 a loan fee 65 a option into total package in 80 million euros but what I say 50 million euros a loan fee and no cash down omutua the amount Chelsea 65 no so a cash down nembom and your option and the Chelsea for the aba say so what trigger yeah Chelsea sound so sell on 10% bisa aka ho but Bayern Munich so me trigger ne there I doubt because they just want to give it a try for 1 year in the minds of Bayern Munich no they are just paying 50 million euros for 1 year because how many option bia omo targets amfa Nanka Chelsea for train. Honestly, say Newcastle Antony Vortamandia. Can Newcastle would have come back for Nicolas Jackson? Nanka Chelsea ajinimi enunina. But say no. Say Newcastle they are not blocked. They are not buying Munich. They are available. Let's negotiate and find the right replacement. And the Chelsea for just ask no. And they are to I think say a fair business. Saboy no call buying Munich. Nasa buying Munich in Casa omon penwa. Chelsea aji 50 million euros. And they are two. Chelsea for any profile ni mo you do. Say about Chelsea about buying Munich or toa. Chelsea can sell it well. Inti Bayern Munich profile na bebe count Nicolas Jackson when I'm a boy in the value akosoro. Inti a win-win approach at the match Chelsea because already this boy on your body be more Chelsea. Proper business na Chelsea for you. They are doing very well. And why I know mutuya 40 million pounds said they are Manchester United edge Garnacho. Inti I think that the businesses Chelsea are doing so far so good. Now you see Antony situation on the DTN again. Command nkofo di abontin bebrebe no I think say we are not being fair to the situation on the grounds me pamcho komo bi say edu ho a enye me time we na me pe we asɛmti facts ye fact the problem is not Antony alone we hear story what's the rebellion for kura buafu a we walking off the deal buafu wan buafu terms and conditions at that table no so not Antony. So why are people berating Antony? I don't get it. Mpacho muntia semunimuye. Real Betis and Manchester United ye negotiations. Betis if was ye ni sika ye betu sika Manchester United wo pe no. Because United for pebe 50 million pounds mu obi. Omuni sa sika no. Enye sa dia. Ye betimi ni ma ye deal bi. Yenye co-ownership. Co-ownership ne say yenye Real Betis for ye be for 50% of akwara no. Na mo so Manchester United ma for 50%. It's a 50-50. Na co-ownership no bronika co-ownership e kire say eye mimi Betis meme dia and ye wo Manchester United dia it's ye nyina ye joint liable to the player nkomo na me di no ti ase 50-50 co-ownership e kire say wo Manchester United wo Antony mu 50% meme Real Betis mi wo mu 50%. But your sanity you inti say eye co-ownership in really we a more of a loan be because a paper works normally stand keke because 50% a more like yenina ye check okay inti say co-ownership there boy no Real Betis for 50% of boy ni salary on betu ya amano let just aka boy ni extra 50% say ogutua sa sika no why ni betu ya ama boy no.
Say a co-ownership, they say United.
Exactly. But Manchester said Derby. And you don't hear. Real Betis if one far boy and become the boy in a cobobo. But you wouldn't come on say in the minds of Manchester United, don't feel say a co-ownership there. But who Real Betis who now the boy ne Ekoye Juma boy ne in first will be a baby. Who Real Betis now wanting to go and take the wage bill. Kona kofa ni nyina.
And I bet is when you say your turn so 50-50.
Nkomo ni nyina no. Nkomo no ni nyina no because for instance here boy no say anano call Real Betis omucha market you animo no boy no just 5.4 million Manchester United 5.4 no 60,000 and Manchester United decided so mubetua by this time around he says 60,000 from what supply I can 2 years stand the contract so 60,000 pounds times 2 years will give you something around little over 6 million pounds. It is a boy ne cast on Manchester United sika no na just say wa boka 6 million pounds. Also on tiasie and the Real Betis also say some Manchester United answer some negotiation terms now almost also on tiasie they are working off the deal because ACCA so Obeka say 50-50 but aketuane the meme Real Betis for me because me na me ko use boy no but in the minds of Manchester United so some feel say the right thing
because almost a ton close to 100 million euros. And almost more 25. Jomo agree on 25 plus 50-50. I'm already 25 million and a Betis betria. I bet you the amount. United from
50%.
Now from 50% now 50-50. United they share about 100 million. You 25 for pay. You not 25 for pay. You 50-50. And you see about betria wages you know based on 50-50. And I just Antony Cano.
And as I say no to you. Real Betis do not care the amount of money you paid for him. What am I so? Say what Real Betis cares is that boy ni man you player. Me no na ye negotiations. We fear and we see. And I will say, we fear no. Yambra, memra na me no be partnership into ye check 50-50. And I make sure 50% in the ama okay neben.
What's a light bill na me na mean?
Now what's a light bill? A dine bu one ya mean na mean ya. Say
well, you better until
negotiations no go so aboye. You better head ye.
Okay.
Nti and also say omo pa omo ni Antony international say sika ni nyina Antony for Antony ne entourage pay 6 million na. Ometimi sorting out be 4 million bi ana. Na nka deal no why we. Ken get say Liverpool ne Arsenal games there. No. When him said the last best 6 Premier League games Liverpool omuntimi sha Arsenal e wo Premier League nemu e wo Premier League nemu e very very strange. 2 Liverpool Arsenal games e go song in the history of Premiership games are goals abapa e Liverpool no Tottenham and the goals pie 206 goals but we any free wa Liverpool Arsenal produce 198 goals 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 game. If some more draw, to say for instance, now saying games some more bonina or Anfield nina draw 2-2, 2-2, 1-1. So these are teams that produce goals. Let me even add this to the context. And a slot team, about 36 consecutive games, go every single game when we say go. So we are going to see goals game this season. Liverpool problem. They've had 2 bad games. Bournemouth, Newcastle. 2 bad games. It's been good. Ricky, Conor Bradley, a trainee, so Conor Bradley will play as the right back. If so, let's say you release Szoboszlai. Now I hear Szoboszlai Gravenberch as the double pivot because it is important because Ken in common way Liverpool last 2 games exposing Liverpool players ni bebre Ibrahima Konate, Milos Kekes. It is not as if they are bad players, but the last time I mean we didn't come out say any defenders behind the team pressure. Any defenders bia. Inti say who expose you to a lot of balls no more mistakes. So Liverpool needs to stop that. Because Arsenal will give them that. Arsenal will attack them. Arsenal knows proper transitions here. Inti Liverpool will need to stop that. Them toss to be okay. Arsenal force say 33 corner kicks in 2 years. And very interesting. We are going to watch how Liverpool are going to stop Arsenal for set pieces. See through corner kicks. Because Arsenal for corner kicks, you know, and I know they know, and every single game they know how to do. Staff from the member. But Liverpool for so waka kama because Virgil van Dijk or so wakama. Konate Soa, Szoboszlai heights in your bad, Gravenberch heights in your bad. So Liverpool should deal with that. Then we can analyze the game with open play. Now, let's go that way. Ken. Minim the conversation about Eberechi Eze. Ken, would you want to play Eberechi Eze so on starting game no one? Because Etrechema so kakra. Eberechi Eze a fully fit. No doubt, the Americans I would put him on number 10. But after Nawaba, throwing him in a big game like this, you know, I said, may 50-50 kakra.
Yes, also starting. Yes, also starting. But I did about come and I want to say, or ni pabi breadum come boy no. Just way back in the school days, the first teams were boy in our coaches and I didn't come or you'll be your personal expressing. There's so much freedom no. Or Jabona times we were Jeffrey in some. Was an Premier League Jabo through in some pressure about so now Motian, but the manager and patch and say man is have freedom no. Timinim say freedom no be have free rule no be.
Or any donya coach in the dad.
Sir, on famano.
Okay. See big clubs you see at Crystal Palace when they get the ball, Omujibona. Everyone looks at Eberechi Eze. He's the go-to man. Into Ojibonwa, he decides when to pass. And then on no coach can say, expressing yourself is that your time will be open, who no be release the pass in the. But in big teams, a well-structured team. Into Ken, let me give you one example. Say Eberechi ya the boy mano. Now he can get Victor Gyökeres through. Now your crest at in per pass. Akwishe goal. I was me Eberechi Eze. Coach is me express me hunti majebo. Matene me che. Big club.
Eze one is on a heavy chain Gyökeres.
And then they saw the two Ukrubo. Say Arsenal for Pelega skin. Unkoma Woody. We say Arsenal assigning 8 players. A chain Ghana teams. 8 team this second and twice miensa. Wato 1 goalkeeper. Wato defenders mienu. Wato midfielders mienu. Wato 3 attackers. Kepa wato no. Wato Pierre Henkepe. Wato Christian Mosquera. 2 defenders. 2 midfielders. Wato Christian Nogard. Wato Martin Zubimendi. Attackers miensa. Wato Eberechi Eze. Wato Noni Madueke. Wato Victor Gyökeres. 8 players. Now, if we say if you season now this second, Mikel Arteta the home better no.
Yes,
pressure war. It's pressure war. It is not about expressing yourself. It is about getting the team a win. It's what your boss. It is through maternity. You need to hold on to the boy. When your time will be especially Victor Gyökeres on your strikers now. Omuni boni bobe briu. Ono an shada ni ball ni ball sa wo. Or striker stand for ball to o man nhye. It is I want to search a striker ball no kuta ball ni bebre wa ha no because oche ball na people defenders age na nchen ontimi mo open space into we number 10 I want to say strikers here but say Haaland one in a baller na me say me number 10 oh twetwe bebre wa ha no oche ball na just release the ball to him. Into come on no I'm expecting a goals game, probably a draw, but hopefully a goals. Chelsea ne Fulham there. Ken Chelsea for versatility what they are front for no. They be out Chelsea game now for line up now unless the game starts and I'll be how Chelsea want to play. Sa Estevao no. Yakasa only replace Cole Palmer, but literally he did not replace Cole Palmer.
Balba certain.
Too. Because in that game, Joao Pedro and a ball 10. And Estevao kobo right wo. The reason why Estevao right one now bono, he was almost seen around sa number 10 area and they say Malo Gusto was creating the weights on the whole deep weights in the matches on the right back. But Malo Gusto no eko jinatete Gan hatene e kan number 7 no. Now ama Estevao aba inside into Chelsea would hold 2 number 10s. Estevao Joao Pedro. Into Estevao so jina right wo na send the James na bebo wa. We James needs to hold the weight for him because akwada no bar line wo bebrebe on shada it will affect him because the style no he needs to get close to the penalty box. Into I am curious to know because the reason I make us say Fulham for no omo ye team Alexi will be bobo ni bebre enye se onimbo ni bo pass awo omo left fullbacks solid left fullbacks. Antony Robinson, one of the best left fullbacks, he's been consistent. Only was senyor nebo. Omu nyina flying fullbacks. Inti they go forward. Go forward. Emma Alex, he will be dropping back midfield. Debia no abefa. He's getting the star +1. So debia on the free man. Inti Chelsea needs someone to hold omo left back. Say senyor nebo. Say whoever will play. As I said, Chelsea needs someone who will spin him. Opinima automatically push Fulham for no deep.
Well,
but what did they meet you? Yes,
you better say game no line up no so enche.
Baba. She say sitting in Brighton there, media. Me team there say
Manchester City.
See be press be in team no mo. Some crazy.
Big Brahma, but my Fermin Lopez, my money says here Barcelona training ground so. Has you flick back as an area. It is a flick casa on a one Garcia into Fermin. Now, Kogana. Akwa why na been already or ya or obi a ope baby akọ. Biggie. Akwa we dey menyo so say obeka sem papa bi a Chelsea for Mujachiri.
Chelsea for Fermin Lopez.
Mujachiri. That is what they say so Mujachiri. Akwa we na.
Basama understands I clear so here player.
Oh,
masa.
No. They say Gavi Krasia Kupra ombese akwa say oh. But we dey we Barca is our Tongiska 70 million move there iska. Nanya net transfer market ya masa 70 million for enyiska ketro.
Ken sikana de hu here
on sanye started here.
Sikana de hu here. But Barcelona as a club on so am na clear so no so here player.
Sana wo hu no.
Of course
public in here. Into purchase a Calaport and kwa akra we foreign and contono. Neba akra we so free nkura no ma. And or foreigner be our by team num no titi bench and conton.
Who the caveat at home send for a foreigner. And that is the difference now. Say countries in Europe no. Obi are treated the special and differently. Because a year ma on minor or woman no. Omo baba bisi akanya.
The Fermin Lopez are playing Chelsea supporters. Akwa just over.
And Ken Fermin Lopez, let's be honest. Our Barcelona do one year starter. But last season, anytime we be your opportunity, be an Obemwa, he proves a point. Our Barcelona bobo call him. So be free bench beba. Matches was starting yes, and make kind year. It was around only 12. But Abrante making sure say among all the matches of boy, say all shots here, say on shots here. Anytime he gets the opportunity to feature 6 goals, 5 assists, and Abrante making sure so Benya Diama Barcelona bobo kona clearly. Or a player on starting pono, time you be your opportunity, Biano, or proving the worth. And for Barcelona, Bobo Kone there, me feel say akwadaa no ho behia especially when there's a bit of injuries any ade obe promoting akwadaa no bi dia ba draw no ne ade atwe say omo quality omo nim ball ne bo omo hia time any opportunity but you can't compare the performance of draw to an experienced player what about Barcelona senior team no any Spanish La Liga again that kind of experience and I feel say Brandt no ho behia o Barcelona bo ko no em found say Barca ehia ska any ade ken the Kobe Manu situation say oye Kobe Manu a me sure say at this moment obe person will be free Manchester United in the time a oye story say Kobe Manu aka champion for na nura nwumre say chinchi no do person free Manchester United bo ko nim say nya tompo a obe person obe call out on loan akwara na sem na oka ni nyina eye because say we here playing time and football they be make say player bi o wa asase so bia. The only time a nipa be who value, the only time a price be kosoro, nipa be put some level of premium on who and no performance. Say your opportunity bo. When you don't get the chance to feature, you don't get the chance to play. If we are seeing nipa who the kind of quality are we made of, it's a player biano. Unya akwanya bo na nipa who the ultimate ye. Kobe Manu, enya share of problems say Manchester United. But Robin to be convinced me say Kobe Manu as a footballer is a bad player. Position now obono coach na catch any only Bruno Fernandes and na empre for position Bruno Fernandes as we speak Manchester United's best player it's ultimate for player for Frobi Bruno Fernandes and free Manchester United team nimo but the last game Manchester United played EFL Cup nimo against Grimby Town Abrante any ball or ball when Finfi one clearly actually the only opportunity he was Manchester United's best player in midfield. On a control game, no. Edema Manchester United Bobo Kono. It detected the pace when he got hold of the ball or control ball. No man who say yes, this is a player or control game as a central midfielder. And Adiamani team, it is such a young talent. Adio Bepe and it's Obenya playing time. And as we speak, Manchester United are begging. Thomas Tuchel ababa bekasa. So one fair Kobe Manu because on your playing time on Manchester United. And me know me nim say baba be call World Cup there are certain midfielders and maybe a chem ebi mpo na ye di momo e maybe a chem ebi mpo na ye mom di o but today ye ball mu di Jacob Manu because omunya bi ball omu team to my hu di omu team here a typical example Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace and can maybe a chem kay bomb midfielders wo England I just say ye mom call up no mu be si akan and anipa dwene to mu betimi abebo the English national team ebi anka di imam. But today, ni dimbam because onya playing time on the team and so your combination ultimate. Now all these midfielders are in the past. England you kobo heroes. Unfiempon say, but people saw the kind of power overbo. And only people this year start wa. May assure so be pray for a move out of Manchester United. Until when found Manchester United they press squad depth. No mu benya nka akwada na te bench no. Akwada na so odwene ono so dache. For himself and then the English national team because Olusini position or the three lions because only be more Manchester United. I'm taking all these things into consideration. Because Xavi Simons team bia one iconic jersey number. Team bia obekumbia. Based on players bia ba be share sa jersey no. Boy any performance omo dine the was our team nim. Etuba Manchester United number 7 jersey no. The iconic jersey number for Manchester United. The moment I be fast jersey na she pe ni pe heto obe puti a performance e wo so na ebe yehu o ye no ni free one ma Tottenham bo boku no player ba ko a no so ababa be she jersey na money mo akosoro pa na nipa boni din pa e human song looking at the performance of Dine the ma Tottenham it is all about Tottenham bo boku no and fa ho say the other orange which is the Dutch national team o she number 7 wo ho any previous club PSV now share number 7 jersey number now ababa be fa no aside sika ye dia ababa fa any expectations e wo ho no jersey number now ababa fa no the another form of pressure and so the baba ka ho now ni pehwe so be put your performance e betimi aburu Madison nom de no so ni pehwe say jersey number now ababa be fa no betimi aye ho adwuma because you mean song the years of consistency. Any adwuma de ma Tottenham Boboko no 333 matches boy no he scored 127 goals and 27 assists English Premier League mu and Abrante and de ma Tottenham Boboko no And this is the kind of player we are talking about. Our be find the JC number. And me hwɛ sɛ akwadaa no performance our dynedy our Bundesliga nim last season. Any the opportunity Obaba Binyano obetimi hit that kind of mark. Na nneɛma kon kind dia ma no. Can Manchester United bɛbɔ Burnley? Say oti say United bɛbɔ Burnley. I am sure say obeka say oh Manchester United ne Burnley there. Oh say we there ya there. And can we say you cool chop at Manchester United. But if you have followed Manchester United this season, no I share Manchester United performance this season now. And I say free last season ever. Me sure say oh you Manchester United supporter you match. Can since April Edibaba Besi Samri. Manchester United matches are in the English Premier League. Manchester United are picking only 6 points. And a dear frame. But winning one. And I draw 3 times. They are now ending in losses. And see, this is the team we are talking about. Man United started very well against Arsenal, even though they lost. But so you see against Arsenal, any problem. And now signs to Kokobo Fulham Bobokono. Kokobo Fulham now draw here. A man for fun and normal. You get an EFL Cup opportunity against Grimsby. Nipa nyina few say these 2 matches are in kind boy, you know. And I'm not adding. And I went to Miansha at least against Grimsby Town there. And can very deep na players they find gaining confidence. And from what the matches are in English Premier League anymore. The who understand Manchester United a drawn game. I had the penalties. Manchester United dear film. So what should Burnley this particular season and to English Premier League anymore? The first game of boy English Premier League anymore. And conquer am farmer about Tottenham. And ultimately our game no so can Burnley team is bad. Debbie. The Tottenham performance against Manchester City. Actually how strong a Tottenham performance in this season at here. It will only share Burnley. Every year, no. Burnley had another opportunity to go Sunderland. Looking at Sunderland, also first game against West Ham. Clearly, the Sunderland performance and bad. And a Burnley chase Sunderland, then or share. No. So Burnley ball now about the ball against Manchester United. No, they are coming with confidence. Aside, you know, a few players who almost scored no more that kind of experience. Our team be a big here. Ube you be to Kyle Walker. Me know Kyle Walker performance for Manchester City in the English Premier League. Kyle Walker among the players are. Oma benya wins do pa. Se team omu won ba Old Trafford 6. Etika Walker whenever he's with a side. I ba Old Trafford. Oba be share Manchester United. United were problem. Who you no free one ma. They have Mabry, Hannibal, former Manchester United player. Akwadaa no feel say Manchester United nan ko be here opportunity. A lot of these players can say ofri team nim no or a former player. Na nyo no ani pem na no person de ko but o feel say wona one man opportunity and na shipping out or baba be hia obi ana o person put up a performance e be mo nu so o ja na man ko ye nti Manchester United team nim finfin honom e wa adwuma ye Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes or whoever obeka sam na ntem yenu ho no e wo so mo ye a lot of work at the Manchester United boboko no Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United be rely on in this particular game. Benjamin Sesko aba Kuni aba, Mbomo aba. Kuni especially in the Premier League. Also born home or part of Manchester United. But go no, enyam maye. Mbomo performance no, it hasn't been bad. But until the Manchester United supporters they expect probably new team, new philosophy. It will take a bit of time. Sesko Susunyam finding fit. It will count. I rely on the best player of the team, which is Bruno Fernandes. And Bruno Fernandes has a record against newly promoted sides. Bruno Fernandes, the last 8 matches on the newly promoted teams above English Premier League, was shot 4 goals and our assisted 6 times.
Okay.
It was known Manchester United, but falling on. So, bet me, I have no results. I'm expecting a win for Manchester United, though it's easy. But I see Team my friend Burnley also scoring. Probably a 2-1 win for Manchester United. Because United last 3 matches are wabo. This season, it will be a one concede goal.
Burnley so be shegu achi.
I dan am hu ni say Burnley benya goal.
Who na head goal no?
Bayern na beda.
You say who na head the best?
The coach na you don't know. It's probably a 2-1 win for Manchester United. Now, Kakebi on Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone, last time we can ask him, has to be very careful and cautious. Keno kwa kobo Alaves. So who share Alaves akin? Obi a few says say because Alaves there. Yes, start this season no. Diego Simeone about 2 matches say we league him. 2 matches no win be.
On win be.
Or Lucy Bako and our draw Bako. And our kwa kobo Alaves. Atletico Madrid ni Alaves the last 22 games Omabo Atletico Madrid are winning 12. Alaves are winning just 5. But unfortunate incident is that Alaves home the last 3 matches Omo unbeaten against Atletico Madrid. The last 3 visits Atletico Madrid to Alaves home Atletico Madrid didn't share go mpo. Ewom. Enti Omo has our records now. They will be confident. Last season they were home.
And this way you feel better team. That game no.
Game ne Game ne hu pa.
Atletico Madrid for betria afa Alaves so.
Game ne hu. And the midfield of Atletico Madrid a problem kaka. Unya ta creative spark no. Ewom. Omo bom finfin no. Barrios and Cardoso and for that kind of make us a creativity in ma. Unless Bayern and Anka be expect so be creative or out or injured.
Okay.
It's also so another form of problem. Players be to say Julian Alvarez, Alexander Solot should make sure so Ombobe the go-to men and Atletico Madrid no. Because the club like Atletico Madrid looking at the spendings, ultimately more 3 matches in the Spanish La Liga. Na winni be. Yes, our pressure the beba coach and so no.
Maurice, the highest paid coach so. Diego Simone.
And they spend for him. Omo man is kind of third your pay. It was more expected results. Onye bibi informa team no do it difficult.
Okay.
But I feel say also bibi and ubo we that one sha ko Villarreal. Look at Villarreal form of La Liga this season.
What's about Champions League?
Yes. It also making sure so bit me any results.
Me that say yem fan insure name mame more before me ba amufaso no. That's yam Chelsea for na ba so sa a record fee in terms of loan. You see being see Premier League in that.
Premier League.
No club and the Premier League in ma. What me every player ako loan at 13 million pounds a season. 15 million euros. Chelsea and the first club in Premier League history. More at 13 million pounds loan fee for one player. Kobo 1 year bra. You bet 13 million pounds. Even 50 million euros the top players.
Oh, a top place.
Oh, Oba City, maybe. Kusano for more.
Example, we are there.
Some body.
Let's say a team Chimikas bear 10. You see Chimikas.
Oko Liverpool, a touch Chimikas. Oko, yeah, you're very saying. Liverpool, a touch Chimikas. City, a Tokusanov.
Man, you the better play.
Man, you there, a better say.
United.
I bet to place baby.
Malaysia
Malaysia they acquired 4. Nti Malaysia so be 3 kura obeti mato.
Na me bacho and utisi Ghana ha it's me top clubs be the
and now all the coach Chelsea. Chelsea what they turn. Oh, I told Raheem Sterling. I told Ben Chilwell. I told Evan saying Bobodin Mamiti.
Outcast for.
Oh, I'm going to Chelsea players. We catch Chelsea players. We can't do it in free. I'm going to Chelsea players.
Gusto Grazi, Gusto.
50 million for Gusto. Okay.
On my record fee. It's good. It's good. Sam said, Atletico Madrid na Morata ne kuta say 20 million euros if I'm right.
Okay.
Or Juventus no.
Oh, Spain.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Premiership there.
I bet Chelsea for no.
Chelsea.
Record loan fee in Premier League history. Nicholas Jackson. Your friend is when I mean, come about